at that score of 448 for 6, Gadding 160, and the not-out batsmen Downton 23 and Embury 12. The Australian bowlers, 3 of them with 100 against their name. Lawson none for 108. I think bowled a bit better than that. McDermott all 5, and Holland the other one with the 100 mark up. O'Donnell and Matthews the other bowlers used, but McDermott 5 for 127 from 31.4 overs. England 191 runs ahead in the box seat. They've done wonderfully well tactically in the very first over. Just the second ball, McDermott finishing his incomplete over when the thunderstorm hit on Saturday evening. He comes in now to bowl to Paul Downton. No runs have been added.
Well done. Well done, McDermott. 6 wickets for him now, and that's exactly what Australia needed. Early breakthrough coming off just the second ball of the morning. So Paul Downton on his way back with 23 to his name, and it's 448 for 7.
Yes, and Craig McDermott not really rushing in there, just coming nice and steadily in, but going a very full length. And Paul Downton making the mistake, which he shouldn't make on this wicket, that he looked to start to come forward, then he went back.
Edmonds out there, he'll be the non-striker, as that was the last ball of the over. This is Embury now to face O'Donnell. The first run of the morning. This is figures up to date, 32 overs now, 6 for 127. Nudge down to long leg, sees Edmonds out his account. And that single takes England on to the 450 mark. McDermott to continue, Edmonds to face. And is not going to stumped over again. Good ball of full length there, Edmonds hit it all around it. 7 wickets for McDermott. What an amazing performance this has been on this pitch.
See Phil Edmonds there, and really a little bit across it, but I think he did him a little bit on pace. It was probably a fairly sharp delivery, and may just have brushed the pads.
It's a good bowl blow from John Embury. Good old-fashioned shot in the air, but very safely hit over mid-off.
Well, what England are wanting now, and John Embury certainly hitting that ball on the up, as they say. It was nowhere near a half volley, but he hit straight through it, a good shot straight down the ground, and England could do with another 20 or 30 runs very quickly, because they've got to make time up in this match, there's no doubt about that.
It's a pretty good shot. A surprised bowler, fieldsman, and even a number of the spectators, they're delighted as it was put away by Paul Allott. A little clip in the air through mid-wicket.
Well, I think most batsmen would have been very pleased with that. It was certainly short, but he just flipped it away with no trouble at all through mid-wicket and away to the boundary for 4. Off leg and middle that have gone down. First half hour's play here this morning. 8 wickets now for Craig McDermott, and Allott goes for 7. Yes, again, Craig McDermott pitching the ball right up full length and bowling straight, and that's what he's got to do. He's got to make the England batsman hit across it, which is what happened there a little bit. Paul Allott finishing across it, and that's the reason he missed it. But very, very good bowling again by this young man.
Lawson to Agnew. Well, that was the thing. Didn't get anything much closer than that. Lawson disappointed, and Agnew collects a single in the end.
Yeah, I think a bat padded onto the actual wicket here. The ball just trickles through. But in fact, I think it just hits the bottom of the stumps and bounces out to the right. David Gower been signalling from the pavilion balcony, and he's got some message through to Jonathan Agnew, who's gone down and told John Embry. Oh, and they're signalling they're just having one more over and then declaring. Could well be.
He's coming back for the second. Could be trouble here. But my word, that was well run. Well, in no way they should have made two out of that. McDermott to Embury. Content to keep it out. The batsmen leave the middle because David Gower has finally decided it's time to call it out. And declaring then at 482 for 9. Gives them a lead of 225 runs. Sees John Embry not out 31. Very useful knock. And a couple to Jonathan Agnew. The man who's still the limelight here today, and indeed for Australia in this match to date, no doubt, is Craig McDermott. 8 of the 9 wickets to fall have gone his way. Marvellous performance on a wicket which has given him precious little help. 8 for 141. A job extremely well done.
Indeed, it certainly was a job well done by Craig McDermott, but England, with 482 for 9, can be thoroughly satisfied with the position they're in early on the 4th day of this Test match. John Embry played very well, 31 not out. He controlled things well as the wickets started to fall, but the whole thing dominated from the Australian point of view by Craig McDermott, who did an outstanding job out there. Greg Matthews ran out Alan Lamb, but the rest of them fell to McDermott, 8 of them in all, and his figures, 8 for 141 from 36 overs and 3 maidens, no other wickets to fall to a bowler. The match situation then, at that declaration, 225 runs ahead England, and Australia had a surprise in store. They sent out Greg Matthews to open the innings with Andrew Hilditch. Here he is now in the 3rd over with 3 runs on the board, and he's facing Ian Botham. A bit quicker, and it beat Matthews for pace.
Quite a gamble, really, putting Matthews in first. He must feel a little nervous, and opening the batting is strictly about tempo and the mental approach. He'll need to bat a few overs out there before he feels relaxed.
Paul Allott, he's going to bowl from the Warwick Road end. Must be very close, pitch going down leg side. Allott doesn't completely agree with that assessment, but umpire Shepherd did.
Let's watch this carefully. He's got Andrew Hilditch on the back foot, changed his mind, half forwards rather, just where he was, came back off the seam.
Good runs. Matthews very confident about that. Never moved an inch, stood there, put it away square, and just watched it go all the way to the boundary. First change sees the introduction of spin at Warwick Road end. Phil Edmonds coming on to take over from Paul Allott. And that one certainly straightened. Had some slow turn from Edmonds in the first innings, but seeing that turn a little shake quicker, Ray.
Yes, that's certainly at least straightened, and that's a very promising sign for the England bowlers.
Embry now to the right-hander Hilditch. It's a bold shot, just almost on the lunge interval. But very safe, nobody out there. Swung him away over deep square for 6. That's a real turn up for the book. A big grin there from Andrew Hilditch. A brave shot, good one, quite sensible shot. It was perfectly safe, provided he middled it, of course. There's nobody more than about 20 yards away from the bat.
Yes, a perfectly safe shot from Andrew Hilditch, who went to 20. Greg Matthews 17, so that makeshift opening pair had done a good job to take Australia on to 38 without loss at lunch. Certainly a little bit of turn there for the spinners, and we pick up play now with the second ball after the interval. No runs have been added, and Greg Matthews is facing Edmonds. Good catch. Beautifully caught and bowled by Phil Edmonds. Matthews, having played so well before lunch to go right through to the interval, to succumb to the second ball after the interval, trying to straight drive Edmonds. Didn't quite get over the top of it, and the bowler took a brilliant catch.
Edmonds let the ball come right to him. He went with it and caught it beautifully. But I think Matthews was put off by those close fielders.
Agnew to Vessels. That field is quite quick today. All the rain that fell past 24 hours, you wouldn't have thought that had any chance at all of carrying. Couple of Vessels now to face Edmonds. Sort of Captain Vessels is. He'll play defensively, drop the ball down to his feet, and then as soon as he gets one a little bit offline, fraction over pitched, and he'll go for the thump through covers. That one actually landed between the footmarks. It was fairly wide, but it actually hit on the good ground in between the two roughened areas. Mark that down as a chance, but we need a slightly different angle to see that it did actually flick his fingers. Indeed it did. Edmonds to Hilditch. That's beaten Allen. Even though Edmonds got a hand to it, it's still gone for 4. Jonathan Agnew. 4 for that. Off the bat. It's off the bat. But it was well wide of Paul Downton. No chance of him gloving that. Everyone always goes up in the air for the catch down the leg side. But Downton, in fact, made pretty good ground to get as far as he did. Agnew to Vessels. That's a good shot for 4. Now the fielder.
Phil Edmonds. Well, he's got a little bit of turn. But see how slowly that one turned. No chance of stopping it. Tried a little bit of flight there, tossed it higher, but unfortunately for Edmonds, much too short. John Embry. And he can't believe it. He can't honestly believe how that one got through. Looked up in utter dismay, but he's gone. Clean bowl by Embry there. And it's 85 for 2. Good wicket there for John Embry. Hilditch bowled for 40.
There you see it again. just fractionally drifted out in the air, but really it was an absolutely dead straight ball from pitch, and you can see there where the batsman's bat, the Hildish's bat, finishes facing short leg, and that really, the bat should have been facing the bowler.
Good shot too. It's a couple of Vessels' turn this time to put him away square on the offside for 4. Still remains, even on the 4th day here, a wicket where you can't afford to drop it short.
Yeah, I think what happened was there, John had been drifting down the leg side, trying to make sure he didn't, and he heard on the offside.
Edmonds again. A couple of Vessels to face.
Inside edge there for a couple of Vessels. 100 comes up for Australia. 103 for 2. There's a good shot from Vessels. It's boundaries from successive deliveries, both of them quicker balls. And Edmonds not quite able to land in exactly the spot he wants. Now, umpire Harold Bird is down looking at Phil Edmonds on the pitch. Phil Edmonds has this habit of giving a little jump as he's waiting to see what the batsman does. He goes through and then sets himself like that. Paul Howler didn't see that. Started to go to his left. Realised a little later that the ball had actually flashed just behind square leg. A couple of Vessels. He's come in there at number 3. That's where he wanted to bat. Finished up with Matthews opening the innings instead of him. So he's justifying the fact that he said in very firm fashion that that's his spot. And Embury has broken through. That looked as though it may have been the leading edge, the ball just turning a little bit. Not the sort of stroke Vessels has been playing.
And Vessels just falling over a little bit. His head went right over towards off stump. He tends to do that, got a bit cramped. And that ball must just straightened a little bit. Rather untypical shot because he dead batted and blocked his way through. A bad ball he punched for 4. His 50 came in 110 balls with 8 fours, so he was quite sharp on the bad ball. And then betwixt and between, neither an attacking shot nor defensive one, and Kepler Vessels goes for 50.
That was a tragedy as far as the Australians were concerned. Vessels was looking very, very dangerous. There was a fine innings from him for a half-century. Hilditch and Matthews, the other men, dismissed, and all of them to the spinners, with Border 15 not out, about to be joined by Boone. In fact, it's Boone now who faces Edmonds with just 1 run added after the tea time interval.
David Boone very nicely off the mark. Just lent into that over pitch ball. So he too gets off the mark with 4 runs. And, scoops for the Australian papers there. And that certainly a lot of turn there. That's one feeling that one might expect if you were bowled on that side of the wicket.
Well, that really did spin. That pitch leg stump and missed off, and as John Embury gets very near the stumps, that did quite a lot there.
well worth a shout here for Phil Edmonds. Playing no stroke, the ball pitching just outside off stump and running on.
John Embury, and he's bowling to David Boone.
Oh, well bowled. Third wicket for Embury. And Boone is out. Just so.
A fine piece of bowling that by John Embury. A slower ball, he lowered him down the wicket, but he did get a little bit of spin as well, which was the thing that finally beat him, but fine piece of bowling, this.
The batsman is Greg Ritchie. And all 4 wickets have fallen now, bowling from that Warwick Road end.
John Embury there getting that one to turn straight away, just a fraction short of a length. If it had been just a little bit fuller, Greg Ritchie would have been in problems straight away, but he just managed to get a bat and pad and get it down between the 2 short legs.
Quite where Greg Ritchie intended. .76 runs behind. Australia 149 for 4.
It's been a very good contest between Alan Border and the spinners. He's played them very well indeed. Now Embury is just trying to trap him on the sweep or the miss sweep. Shot he's played well with good judgment. Rather than avoid sweeping, Embury is almost inviting it.
Well, that's not the one.
Full toss. And that's played away without any trouble at all.
So once again, it will be Embury to Ritchie.
But that looked a chance. Or a catch. I wouldn't say. Let's see how close it gets to Goa, but there's a bat and well, it was quite a way away and very low.
That's a fine shot. It won't quite go to the boundary, but Border will be able to get 3 if he runs very fast. Nice footwork, Border, and perfect judgment. Mike Gatting is coming on to bowl. This is the sort of ploy that the captain will use sometimes. Bring on a spare part bowler and just try and snap the concentration of the batsman. Might get a loose one and play a loose shot.
Might want to turn around Embury and Edmonds as well. Maybe offer Edmonds a go from the other end.
Well, it was worth a try. Just never know if you might have the batsman get a top edge. 4 runs not going to matter too much.
Edmonds coming back to that Warwick Road end, which has favoured the spinner slightly. All the wickets have gone down, bowling from that end. He's hit that high and a long way. There's the 6 signalled by David Shepherd.
Well, he wasn't really to the pitch of that, and if it had turned, I think he might have found himself lofting the ball to the covers, but he had a little bit of luck that time.
And another little pad bat, which just went wide of David Gower again. There's been 2 or 3 of those in the last 10 minutes.
Embry to border. Border trying to keep the strike. This is through for the single. So a 50 partnership between these two. It's been a hard struggle for them. It's taken 165 balls, but they've kept the 2 spinners out. And he thought it was going up for a minute there. The hand came out. There was expectation out there. Good shout, another good delivery.
And I think he's got to give him the benefit of the doubt there. He's certainly got outside off stump, but of course, if he hadn't been playing a shot, then he could have been given out.
Border's gone on to 49 at the other end. He'll have to wait till tomorrow for his 50. And they're all asking this time. RBW turned down, the bat pad catch turned down. Mr. Botham is not overjoyed.
Well, certainly pad first. Whether it caught the bat on the way up, I don't know. The England players seem quite confident.
Yes, the England players certainly thought they'd broken through there. Greg Ritchie had an equal amount of confidence in umpire Shepherd at the bowler's end. A good innings from him, 22 not out, and with Alan Border, he's shared a 50-run partnership. Border playing a good skipper's innings there, 49 not out. 1 more run added to take the total on to 192 for 4 at the close of play. England, the wickets shared by the spinners, 3 for 56 Embury and 1 for 78 Edmonds. I thought bowled quite beautifully today, both of them. A very fine performance. And the situation going into the final day is that Australia are still 33 runs behind with 6 wickets in hand. They started well with